We're going to get started. Appreciate everyone joining for this demonstration this morning for new commercial buildings in the PLUS system. The PLUS system will launch on Monday, and it is the platform that will be used for all land development applications moving forward in Fairfax County. So if you're applying for a building permit, you need to obtain a septic permit. If you need to do a fire sprinkler submission or a rezoning or site plan, everything is now done under one system. The county took all of the legacy systems and merged it into one platform to help customers have a singular place to go for all land development in the county. So today this morning we're gonna touch on new commercial buildings. We're gonna walk through a submission. We're gonna discuss a resubmission. Throughout the demo, I will point out differences between FIDO and Project Docs and PLUS, and I will pause for questions. If you have questions, you can please put them in the chat. We have county staff on the call with us today as well to monitor those questions and to be able to answer them along the way. But I will also pause at certain points to answer some that I may need to answer. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started this morning. So what you see on your screen is the PLUS homepage. It is called ACA, or Acela Citizen Access. This is the online portal that you will go to apply for anything that you have that is land development related. You can see across the top here, these are the different modules that are in the system. Some of these are live now or have been live previously with certain application types. You can't go in there right now apply for anything because the system's down as part of what we're calling release 4. But some of these have already been out there. Environmental health has some food service stuff out there. Building has household appliance and code mods out there. Zoning has a good chunk of their stuff out there. But come Monday morning, everything will be there completely for every module. There's around 100 new application types that are being launched on Monday morning. Currently, I'm not logged into the system. This is something that is kind of very similar to FIDO. You don't have to be logged into the system to do simple things like, some research by searching applications or scheduling an inspection. You can see as I scroll down, I can search for applications in any of these modules. I don't have to be logged into the system. That is very similar functionality now to FIDO, just extended to include all of these other modules, whereas previously, you would have to go to PAWS or ZAPS to be able to research site plans and, rezonings and stuff like that. You no longer have to do that. Everything is here in one system, and a lot of searching can be done without being logged into your account. I'm going to go ahead and log in since I already have an account. So when you log into your account, this is kind of like a home page. You have a few things that are going on here. First, you have your shopping cart. So you can apply for applications and save them in your shopping cart and pay for them all at one time if you wanted to. It's kind of like a bundle. You have My Collections. If you have a large project that's got a lot of permits associated with it, you could go into My Collections and you could create a collection called, Capital One, for an example, and you could take all of those applications and lump them into the collection and you could track all of them by just going in and accessing that collection. Down here at the bottom, we have work in progress. So one of the new features with Plus that you did not have in Fido is you can start an application and save it and come back to it later. You can see here that I currently have 3 applications that I have started previously and have not completed. And you can see here that it assigns what's called a temporary number to that application. And if I wanted to pick this back up and keep working on it, I would click resume and it would take me back to where I left off. There is some logic in the system that around 90 days, if you have not done anything with a temporary application, you'll receive a message asking you to go in and complete it. And if it's not done within a certain time, the system will void that temporary application. Across the top, you have the building, enforcement, environmental, etc. modules. If I wanted to apply for something in one of those modules, I would click on that. And we're going to do that here in just a minute. We're in our dashboard view right now. We also have a records view. If I go into my records, it's a consolidated view of everything that I may have within different modules. So you can see here, I can expand and collapse the building module, and I can expand and collapse the fire module. If I had a rezoning in here, I would have one of these bars for zoning. If I had a site plan that I had submitted or was associated with, I would have one of these for site. But this is kind of like a consolidated review of all the applications that you are associated with. If I needed to make any changes to my account, I could also do that here as well. But we're going to go into the building module. And again, here you have a running list of the applications that you're currently working on. And if you scroll to the bottom, if you needed to do some research and search for something specifically, you could also do that here. Either you're looking for some specific record or for a certain thing, like you want to find a code mod, you could run that search down here at the bottom. And the same search is at the bottom of every module, site, zoning, etc. I could schedule an inspection from here as well. But for today, we're going to go in and we're going to create a new commercial structure. So to do that, I'm going to click create an application. And here we're giving you some help information. You can schedule a virtual appointment from here if you needed to, if you needed some additional assistance. We have a link to our Plus webpage where there's really good content that we're going to cover towards the end of this presentation today. To get going, every application has a disclaimer at the beginning. This is the same disclaimer that is in Fido and is also the same disclaimer that used to be on the old paper application. So we're asking you to accept the terms before you move forward. To do that, you'll check this box. It says you've read and accepted, and you click continue. And that's going to take you to the next step, which is where you're going to select the record type that you're applying for. We have these broken down into categories. We have commercial, residential, and administrative. And then licenses as home improvement contractors, and you also have elevators here. Depending upon what you're applying for, we will have some permit type guides that will be posted online. Very similar to Fido and Project Docs, where you can go to that guide, and if you're not totally sure what to apply for, you can go to that guide and it'll tell you all of the different types of works that are associated with that specific record. And you'll be able to use that as your starting point for which application to select. You would check the box and click continue. And that's going to take you into step 1. And you can see here across the top, it's just an affirmation that you're in the correct record you're applying for the correct thing. You can always look here at the top to make sure that, maybe you selected the wrong thing, or, you could always go back and start over and select the correct one, but you can always look right here to make sure that you're applying for the correct record in the system. The first step in the building module is to ask for a project address. You want to enter the number and a couple letters of the street name and click search. And you can see here that it's pulling in the information for the rest of the information after I click search. I know a lot of times with new commercial buildings, you don't necessarily have an address that's in the system yet because maybe you're waiting for the site plan to be approved and stuff like that. You do have the ability to go down here into this location details box, and you can type in an address here, and it will still allow the application to move forward. So we no longer have to kind of use the government center address on new commercial buildings, which is what we've been doing in the FIDO world. You can go down here to this location details and enter that address, and then it will allow your application to move forward. It's also going to pull in the parcel information as well. And you can see here, I've got the red circle with a line through it. So now that I've selected an address and I've associated this application with an address, you can see that I can't go in and edit this information. It's kind of locked down. If I needed to edit this, I would have to go back up here and clear and start over and enter a different address. If I got down there and I realized that I had the wrong one, I go back up here and I would clear, and I would go back in and enter that address correctly. Click search, and then I could move forward. At any point in time in an application, you can click this red save and resume later, and it will show up under your dashboard under the work in progress applications. This red save and resume later is on every page. If I got my address selected, I can click continue and move forward. It's going to take us to the next part of step one, which is location and people. And this is where we're going to enter our contact information. One difference between Plus and FIDO. In FIDO, when you log into the account, it already associates you with that application as being the applicant and the contact person. Plus does not operate like that. You do have to go in and associate yourself with the project as the applicant, but it's a very simple thing to do. You can click select from account, select an address, click continue, and it's going to pull all of your information in that is already a part of your existing account that you created. Next, it's gonna ask for a property owner. To move the demo forward today, I'm going to do the select account thing again, but you would actually do add new. You would enter the owner's name, address, stuff like that. If the tenant was a different person, if you were on a shell building and it was for a new target or something like that, you would go in here and you would click add new, and you would enter that it's for Target as the tenant. Very similar to the owner. And then down below, we have some questions regarding the contractor. Based on how you answer these questions, there's some kind of downstream functionality. If I was to check yes to this, later on in the application process, the licensing page would not generate. You would basically skip over that. If I were to select the contractor is going to be selected later, Again, it will skip over that licensing page where you would have to enter your license information. But for today, we're going to click no because I want to show that page and talk about some functionality there. Once I've entered my information here, I'm going to click continue. And now we're going to move on to step 2. Step 2, we're going to start to ask some job specific questions. You have a project name, and we're going to ask for a description. Down below, we're going to ask for some details. We're going to ask if it's got a parent, if it has a site-related plan, and whether it's part of the expedited peer review program. If I say no to a parent, you're going to get a second question that's going to make sure that it's not associated with a master file as well. We're going to check no today. We are going to select that we do have a site-related plan. And we are going to select that it is part of the expedited peer review program. It's going to ask for an estimated cost. And then we're going to ask some questions about what's that more specific into the type of work. So we're going to ask you what type of structure it is. We're going to ask you what is the new building type. We got addition, detached, new commercial building, and multifamily. And based on the selection that you make here, the options that are available under the type of work are different. So if I select that this is a detached structure, it's going to ask me, is it a carport, garage, gazebo, etc. If I change this and I'm now doing a new commercial building, you're going to see that these options are different. Okay. You got footing and foundation, full commercial building with all tenant work, garage, pool or bathhouse or show only. And if I select multifamily, you're going to see that I got another list, a different list of options that are available here. Is this a floor permit? Is it a footing and foundation? Is it a show only? So depending upon the type that you pick here, you get different options under type of work. So for today, we're going to do new commercial building, and it's a show only. We're going to click continue. Okay. Because I selected yes, that there is a site-related plan associated with this project, you're going to get a subsequent page. It's going to ask you to enter what that number is. To do that, you're going to click add a row. And then you're going to enter that number. And click submit. And you're going to see here, you've got a validated yes or no. If this validated that the parcel matched and you got a yes, then you can click continue and move forward. If you got a validated no, you need to remove this and enter the correct number. Okay. If you move this forward with a no in it, it's going to try to search for something in another page, and it's not going to be able to find it, and it's not going to let you access the digital plan room to upload your drawings. Okay. Once I confirm that it's validated, we're going to click continue. And now it's going to open up the licensing page. And this is another thing that is a difference between FIDO and Plus. In FIDO, every contractor has a contractor ID number. And that contractor ID number includes the state license and the county license in one location. Plus does not manage licenses in the same way. So you actually have to enter those licenses and their numbers separately in Plus. It's a relatively easy thing to do, but you do need to have the numbers to do it. So you're going to click lookup, and you need to select whether you're an architect, contractor, or engineer. I'm going to select that we're doing a contractor today. I'm going to enter my number. I'm going to click save and close. And you can see that it's going to pull that information in. Down below, there's some questions regarding the business license. So we're going to select yes, that we have one. And we're going to enter our number. And when we do that, you're going to notice that the number that I entered changed to active. So it's telling us that this is a valid business license. So now that I've entered my licensed professional, my contractor, and I've entered my county business license, I can click continue. And you're going to notice immediately it's telling you as the customer that this is not a valid license. It's telling you that this specialty is not qualified to do this work. So you would have to go in and remove this contractor. And go back in and do a new lookup and enter a valid license that is appropriately approved through DPOR. And when I do that and I enter the appropriate license, well, okay, so that's good. So it's also going to check class, okay? So it's going to look at the contract value that you entered, and if it exceeds the DPOR regulations, it's going to stop you here as well. So it's looking at the specialty and it's looking at the class. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to try this a third time. We're going to do the lookup again. We're going to select that we're a contractor. This time it's going to let me through because I have the correct specialty and I have the correct class. This is the review page. This gives you an opportunity to go in and edit any information prior to clicking continue. Again, you can also save and resume here and come back to this application at a later date and time and pick it back up and complete it. But we want to keep going, so we're going to click continue. I apologize for the delay. We are in the training environment, so things move a little bit slower there. Are there any questions?
Steve, it looks like there's a question in the chat. Do you still have to use the government center address for Town of Clifton properties?
You do not. You can use the Town of Clifton address.
Folks have other questions, please put them in the chat. The participants are muted for the call, but do put your questions in the chat and we'll read them out.
Okay, so we've completed the application. We've clicked the continue button. You are now taken to the next page. And this is the page where if a plan of some sort or a document of some sort is required, you will have this upload plans and documents button. So this is step 2 of the process. So now we're going to go in and we're going to complete our submission by uploading plans and documents. When you click that button, it's going to take you into the digital plan room. You can see here, digital plan room, and this is the record ID. This is the number that we're working on. You're also going to see here on the right, these are the requirements. These are the things that you have to submit as a part of this application. And these options that show up under requirements are based on some of the questions that you answered as a part of your application. So you can see I selected that this was a peer review plan. So when I get to this point, it's going to ask me to upload the booklets from the peer reviewer. So we're going to click continue. And that's going to take us to the file processing step. This again is a big change between Project Docs and the digital plan room. You no longer have to upload individual sheets. In fact, when it comes to a plan set, we're asking you to actually upload a single PDF. Unless you only have one sheet, that will be fine. But if you have something that's multiple sheets, we're asking you to do that as a single PDF. So it's you can either browse or you can click and drop. So I'm going to take my first thing and I'm going to bring it over. And when I bring that PDF over, you're going to get this select a document drop down. And there's a lot of document options in here. You're going to select the one that is appropriate for the file that you put in. So this is a plan set, so I'm going to select plans. This is a cover sheet, so I'm going to select a cover sheet. And then I'm going to use this void file as my peer review record. And then once I put these 3 in, I'm going to click upload and validate. And I know I have some questions here. So the single PDF, this system, this digital plan room takes single PDFs that are plan sets and it breaks them individual files. So if you have a plan set that's 300 pages and you want to upload 300 pages individually, you are more than happy to do that. Our recommendation would be let the software do it for you. Open and drop in a single PDF that has the 300 sheets and let the system do it for you. Okay. The plan cover sheet is the Fairfax County cover sheet that needs to be uploaded as a separate document. I know some designers have started to include that in their cover page, but we will need that as a separate document moving forward. And it will accept digitally signed and locked drawings. So you can see here that the system validated these files. Just because these are the three things that we've identified that are required does not mean that you can't upload additional documents. You may have structural calculations. You may have evaluation reports or, mechanical or electrical comm checks. All those can be uploaded as well. We're just telling you that because of this application, these are the three minimum requirements that you need. And then obviously in certain projects, certain other things are required, but these are the three minimum things that are needed for this project. Once I've uploaded these files and all of them have been validated, I would click process. And what's happening here is the digital plan room is going into the PDF that you identified to be the plan set, and it's separating that out into single PDFs. And it's also looking to see if it can assign a sheet number. I think we have some more questions. So we'll come back to the fee thing later. So for corrections and revisions, the file names do not need to match. We will cover that in a few moments when we do a resubmission. You can see what happens when it comes back in. So the file name with this new digital plan room is pretty much irrelevant because the system is going to be searching for the sheet number. Supporting documents can be uploaded as a single file. The system doesn't break those out into individual pages, but you don't need to upload those individually, and you actually don't need to upload those as individual sheets and project docs. So I apologize if that's been happening, but that's never been the case for supporting docs like truss packages or structural calculations. Once these have been processed, you get the thumbs up and the continue button becomes available. When I click continue, it's going to take you into the sheet number and name. And what you can see is the DPR version 1, which is the single PDF that I upload and called it my plan set, takes that and it splits it out into the individual sheets. It's going to go down into the bottom corner of the page and it's going to assign it a sheet number. Some plans that come in, it will actually be able to read the name of the sheet. In this case, it's reading this as the cover and this is the construction, etc. If for some reason it couldn't find a sheet title, you can see here that the sheet title is optional. So you don't have to go in if you upload a PDF and name all of these sheets to move this application forward. If you want to do that, it's totally up to you, but you do not have to. The only thing that is required, if I try to click continue, you can see here the only thing that's required is the sheet number itself. Once I enter a number, it clears that it's missing and you can move forward.
Steve, there's a question about what the table of contents is for a PDF. Is that the same as a bookmark?
That's probably a little bit more technical than I can answer on this call, but I will take that question down and respond after. So once I've confirmed that I've got a sheet number associated with every page here, I can click continue. And again, I'm going to get kind of a review page. If I get here and I realize that maybe I forgot to upload my structural calculations, I could go back in, click edit. It'll take me back to that step. I can upload those structural calculations and I can come back here and click finish. But for today, I think this submission is good to go. And we're going to click finish. And you can see here, you got the green successful. And that means that your application has now been submitted to the county. And it is awaiting what's called the application submittal review. And in the Project Docs FIDO world, that is called the pre-screen review. And it was pointed out a few moments ago that no fees have been charged yet, and that is correct. That is accurate. We are not charging a fee up front. That is a business practice change for the building side. We have a lot of applications that come in where the fee is paid up front and it's the wrong application type. And that kind of causes the customer to have to go through the refund process and start over and stuff like that. And then pay a second fee and wait for the original fee to come back to them. So we're not accepting fees up front. We are going to do that application submittal / pre-screen review. Once we have the package ready between the back and forth, you will get an email from the county stating that you have some fees due. You would go online and pay them. And then the application itself would move to the next step, which is the review distribution step. And that's where all the reviews that are appropriate for that application will be assigned. There's a question regarding the title block and make it easier to read. What we've seen in testing this is that as long as it's clear down in the right-hand corner, it's going to pick up the page number. We've thrown some stuff at it and it's seemed to be able to figure it out. If it can't figure it out, it comes up with the red bar and you can add the sheet number in as part of that screen. Supporting documents like a geotechnical report, it does not separate those out into individual pages. It keeps it as a single PDF for the reviewers to be able to open and go through. The only thing that gets separated out into single PDFs is the plan set. I go to my records details here. And I go to my record info. I can go to processing status. Processing status is basically the new workflow routing slip. I click on that and I can see that it's with the county and the plans have been received and it's awaiting review. I'm going to pause here and see if there are any other questions regarding submitting an application before I move forward. Yes, so record numbers, everything in Plus is considered a record, okay? So you can see here the naming convention in Plus is different. Everything starts with a prefix and that's consistent among all modules. This is a BLDC, so it is a commercial building application. It is then followed by a year, and then it is then followed by a sequential number. Anything that is converted from FIDO into the system will have this same prefix, and then the dash, and then this would be the FIDO number. So you'll be able to easily identify your FIDO applications from your new Plus created application.
Hey, Steve, there was also a question about adding more than just one applicant.
So yes, good question. So same thing, kind of like in Project Docs, you could reach out to us and we could add somebody into Project Docs that could go in and respond to comments and upload plans. We can do that here as well. You would have to send us an email with the information so that we could go in and add that person in. And then once we add them, they have full access. One thing that I will point out that's a little bit different between Project Docs and Plus is that in Project Docs, we had two different roles, essentially. I could make someone kind of like in a read-only capacity, or we could give somebody full access. In Plus, I don't have the option to give somebody read-only. So when I give someone access, they have access to everything, okay? So caution, when you add somebody in, totally your choice and your option available to you, but there is no longer an option to just make somebody read only, okay? Third-party signature is still required. Process the same for residential. Yes, so I know we're covering commercial today, but we made this in the building side consistent, whether you're applying for a new residential house, a deck, or a new commercial building. The pages are the same. You start off by entering an address, then you enter your contacts, then you enter your information that's specific to the project, and then you upload plans and documents if they're required. So those 4 or 5 steps that happen the same whether you're applying for something commercial or whether you're applying for something residential. Mary, if that didn't answer your question, please let me know in the chat. I don't know if we'll get to inspections today, but I will try. All right, so now we've covered how to submit a new application. So we're gonna touch on resubmitting one that has comments. So I'm gonna go back to my building tab. And you can see here, you have your record numbers, you're getting what the type is, an address, project name, and you have status and you have actions. You can see under status that this is plans received. That's the one that we just submitted. So it's in that application submittal pre-screen process. We have one here that's in review. We're going to come back to that in a few moments. And then I have one here that's waiting for corrections, okay? Before I can do my submission, you can see here that the pay fees due tab or link is available. Before I can proceed with responding to comments and uploading my revised drawings, I have to go in and pay those resubmission fees. So we're going to do that very quickly. It's very easy. You click on the link. You can see here that I have one resubmission that I need to pay for. If I needed to continue shopping for other ones that I want to pay for, I can do that as well. And I can kind of build up that shopping cart. But we only have one for today. So we're going to go and go ahead and proceed with paying for that one. When I click submit payment, it's going to take me into the online payment system. Going to enter everything that has a star next to it. While that's processing, I know a lot of times on commercial, the fees kind of end up being paid more so by someone that's maybe not necessarily a submitter. We do have the ability within Plus for someone to not be associated with a project, but also be able to go in and pay fees. They would do that by searching for this record online. That same pay fee tab is there. They would go to that fee tab and they would be able to pay that associated fee. Question about vouchers.
Yeah.
Vouchers will work the same as they do now. We do not have a voucher process online. You would have to email those to LDS building permits and the LDS cashier for us to go in and enter that fee in the back office. So now that I've paid my fee, we got our confirmation. I'm going to click the blue link to go back to the record. I want to go into the digital plan room. In here, I can see that I've got 3 outstanding issues that I need to respond to for building. The system will allow you to go in here and click resume and upload your drawings. But if you don't respond to the issues before you do that, it's going to make you come back and do it. So under the issues, this is where you're going to find your review comments. You can see here are my 3 building comments. They're all marked as open and are requiring a response from the applicant. If I needed to filter comments, I could do that here. I could look for ones that have been accepted, not accepted, etc. I can search by discipline. If I had a bunch of disciplines here, I could search and kind of consolidate the list. I also have the ability to print these and so that they can be emailed out to a customer. To respond to a comment, you're going to click on the open link. It's going to take you to that comment where it is on the page if it's a change mark comment, and I'm going to have to type in a response. And when I type in that response, you're going to see that this switches to answered. Okay. I have to do that for all of these comments. And if I don't, it will not allow me to upload the revised drawings. Now that I've answered all of these, I get the message above that says, now that I've basically uploaded or responded to all the comments, I can complete the upload. To do that, I would go to the upload tab and I can click resume as part of my review cycle 2. You can see here the difference between review cycle 1 and review cycle 2. I don't have any required documents for review cycle 2, basically because I have to respond to the comments that the reviewer has made. So you can't tell the system on a second, third, or fourth round what's required. So you're using the review comments as your tool for what needs to be done. I'm going to click continue. And then again, I'm going to get that same browser drop. So I'm going to grab my next PDF that has my revised drawings in it. I'm going to select that it's a plan set. And I'm going to click upload and validate.
Hey, Steve, there's a question from Kate McKeever. Can we download the drawing sheet with the comments on it? If there's any change marks, I'm assuming she means.
I'd have to check on that. I don't know if you can actually download it or not. I know that if you open it, it's there and you can see it, and you could take a screenshot of it, worst case scenario. But I will make a note of that question and get a response. You can see here, it's validated my file, so I can click process. Again, it's going to take that PDF and split it out and look for sheet numbers and assign them accordingly. If you're uploading a large plan set, you could click this close button here and just let this run. And you could come back to this later. The system will send you an email once this step has been completed. So if you're uploading a really large plan set, new commercial buildings tend to have 700, 800, 900 sheets to them. You could do this and walk away and come back to it. Even go in and, work on another application or something else and come back to it, and the system's going to notify you when the plan set has been completed. You can see that it's been processed, so I'm going to go ahead and click continue.
There's another question about the naming of files from Mary.
Yep. I'm going to touch that right now.
Okay.
Yep. So if you remember, in my previous PDF that I uploaded on my first cycle, the file name was DPR version 1. Okay. That was purposeful. You can see here, as a part of my failed plan, I uploaded a completely different file name, DPR version 2. Okay. And you can see when I did that, it versioned the sheet. Okay. So I did that because I wanted you to see that the file name does not matter. Okay. You still can't have special characters in a file name of a PDF, so you can't have a plus symbol or an @ sign. But when it comes to the digital plan room, that file name really doesn't matter anymore, because it is literally looking for a sheet number. And if it goes into that PDF and it finds that sheet number, it's going to come over here and it's going to version. And you can tell that it versioned because it's going to tell you over here on the right that it was a sheet that was there previously, and it versioned as a part of this resubmission. And you can also see down here in the PDF that I uploaded, this E201 was not a sheet that was there previously. So it's going to also look and see if it was there before, and it's going to tell me whether it was there before by saying that no previous version was there. Okay, so that file name, I know that's been a point of emphasis from the county and a struggle for both sides in the project docs world. It is not an issue moving forward in Plus and with the digital plan room. There's a question regarding the description. If you wanted to type something into that description field that's on the subsequent page before you upload your file, you can. It is not required. As part of migration, the digital plan room is going to try to name those sheets. I cannot guarantee that every single sheet is going to be renamed properly, It is something that we've been working on as a part of our conversion process. We'll have to kind of wait and see how that goes. We also have been going in and trying to rename some sheets that we've identified as being bad sheet names or numbers. So we're hoping that that will help clean it up. You do not have to upload a brand new set every time. You can just upload a PDF with the 5, 10, 15, 20 files that need to be adjusted based on comments. It does not have to be a full set every time. In fact, we're asking you to not upload a full set every time. We just want the impacted sheets that have comments that need to be addressed. Once I've confirmed that this is the correct set that needs to come in, I would click continue. Again, you have that landing page. If everything's good to go, all my comments have been answered. I click finish, and my package has been sent back to the county for review. I can go back to my building module, and I can see that number 98, which is the one that I was working on, is now back with the county and in review. One thing that I wanted to touch on very quickly about plans that are in the review process. This came up, I believe, yesterday on the webinar call in regards to comments in general. We have made some changes to how notifications work in Plus. We got a lot of customer feedback regarding notifications and how many the system sends out every time a review passes, every time a review fails, etc. And that kind of led to a question from somebody regarding comments and when they would be available. So I'm going to go into this one here that I created earlier today, number 103. And basically what's going to happen now is that you're going to, once all the reviews are complete, you'll get an email that says, hey, the reviews are complete. You can go in and respond to comments and upload your plans. But that doesn't mean that you can't see comments along the way. So I'm going to go into my record info really quickly, and I'm going to go to that processing status, which is kind of our new workflow routing slip. And I'm going to click on that. And I can see here, I didn't necessarily get an email that the building review was complete. But if I open that, I can see that a review was done and it's waiting for corrections, which means it has a comment associated with it. But you can also see with the little hourglass icon that plumbing, mechanical, electrical, and fire are still not complete yet. So if I want to see the comment from the reviewer, I can go into the digital plan room and I can go to my issues. And I can see the comment that was put there by the building reviewer, even though the rest of the process has not been complete. So you'll have access to these comments, but you won't be able to resubmit very similarly in the project docs world until all the comments have been put together and sent back to you and the task is in your possession. But you will still have access to see comments along the way once that review has failed. You won't see them if the review is still going on and the reviewer is kind of typing in their comments. But once they fail it, those comments become available to you and you'll be able to see them online. And again, you can go in and you can click print and it'll print that comment, or you can print the comment from here and send it out to the design team so that they can start to address and work on it. Mary, I'm reading your question right now. The county is not giving you a naming convention in Plus. You name your sheets what you name them, and the system will identify that sheet number when you upload your set of drawings. There is no naming convention being provided by the county. If you enter a D 1.1 or an A 1.1, it will read that. We have tested that. It also accepts dashes. So if you have someone out there that is a designer that does A-1 or S-1, it will pick that up and read that as well. Okay. Do we have any other questions? If we don't, I'm going to go to the, I believe we had an inspection scheduling question that I'm going to try to cover. Okay. Yep, a couple good questions there. Okay, Mary, I'm going to come back to your inspections, but we do have enough time, so we should be able to get to it. Geotechnical reports, they don't necessarily need to be uploaded anymore. We have the ability within the system to link things together like we've never been able to do before. You should have noticed that during the submission of number 104 that we did not ask you to upload your site plan. We asked you for the number. And that is because when you enter that number, it takes that building application or record and it links it to the site record in the back office for county staff to be able to see. If that geotechnical report has been linked to the site plan appropriately, we will also be able to see that. So a lot of the documents and things that we've had to ask for customers to upload previously because of the limitations of FIDO and project docs, you no longer have to do an individual upload of those documents moving forward. Phasing permits. You can apply online for phasing permits. You would link them yourself through parent. There's a question as a part of the application that says, "Are you or do you have a parent number or whatever?" You would enter yes, and then very similarly to how I showed you the site plan number being entered, you would do the same thing for building parent-child applications. Plans are the only thing that the system splits out into single sheets. Anything that's uploaded that is a supporting document, like the expedited peer review package or structural calculations, that when you upload it as a PDF with 10 sheets, or 10 pages, it stays as a PDF with 10 pages. Okay. inspections. One of the new requirements in plus on all the building records that would require an inspection, they now need to have what's called an on-site contact. Okay, that on-site contact needs to be entered before you're ready for inspections. Okay, so if I have a record, try to find one that is issued really quickly. Got a lot in review. Okay, here we go. So this one is an issued residential miscellaneous. You can see over here on the right, we have what's called the Make Changes button. When I click on that, there's a couple different options that are available. I can do a building height cert if one's required. I can do a building permit amendment, or I can update the contacts. Okay, so when I select this and I click continue, I'm going to have to add an on-site contact. If that on-site contact's not there, inspections are not going to be able to be scheduled. And what they're looking for is that person that's going to be out in the field to meet them, basically. So when you do that, you can either select from account or add new. When you add new, it's going to ask you for the email address, phone number, address, person's name, etc. And then when you do that, every time an inspection happens, that person will receive those notifications. That's a good question. If you go, we'll go back here to the building thing, the main page, and you can see here that this Make Changes button is available, and different things are available under Make Changes at different points in time in the workflow. You can see here that this updating building contacts is always available. It does not matter what step of the process the application is in. You can always go in and add that on-site contact through this process at any step. We would recommend that if you know who that on-site contact is, it would be to go in and add them as soon as you know. But you won't see it as an available option to you as a part of your initial application. You'd have to get it submitted to us before or after you completed that initial applications. Critical structures, that process is a little bit different in Plus. I don't know if I want to really dive deep into that today. I believe we are going to have a separate session for that. But basically, it's an online application now. The building reviewer will identify that it's a critical structure inspection program. When they do that, you get an email and you go into the system through Make Changes and you click that button for critical structures. And then that is your new critical structures form. So you fill out everything online. You do not have to upload that form moving forward. And it's going to ask you as a part of that process who the people are that would be the ones that need to attend that meeting. The geo report itself should be linked to the site plan. So really all you would need to provide to us at time of application would be that site plan number. We would be able to go into the system and then see the geo technical report as part of the site plan. So you would not need to, you would not need to do anything, or should not need to do anything outside of giving us the site plan number. Okay, looks like questions are winding down. I'm very briefly going to touch on the Plus webpage. This is the Plus homepage. There is a lot of information available here. All of the webinar Wednesdays that we've done, we have recorded and posted. You can sign up for notifications. You can go to specific agency records and web pages. The how-to videos will take you to our YouTube channel. We have user guides, FAQs, all kinds of like really good information here that's available. If I go to the YouTube channel, we've got a good batch of videos that are available here to you. These DPR, these digital plan room videos, were uploaded about a week ago. They cover a lot of the same content that I covered today when it comes to resubmitting, and they're broken down into 3 to 4 minute videos. We didn't want to post like a big, large video out there and then it'd be kind of not specific to what someone's doing. So we broke it down into sizable, manageable videos for you to watch. Another thing that is available is we are offering some one-on-one in-person appointments starting in November. You'll be able to schedule an appointment and come in and meet with someone to kind of talk through your first application and make sure you're doing it correctly. You can schedule those online. We do ask that you come with a laptop and something that's actually ready to be submitted so that we can make the best use of everyone's time. You can reach out to us with questions, concerns, comments. We are going to try to do some continuing education stuff once we get through November. We'll do some trainings and stuff, kind of keep that webinar Wednesday thing going, but may not necessarily always be on Wednesdays. But we're going to continue to do these online demos and trainings. If we don't have any final questions, we're going to stop the recording. And I appreciate everyone's time this morning as we get closer to launching Plus. I think it's an exciting time for everyone, and we finally get to move on from project docs and into a new modern, easy-to-use system. Thank you all. Enjoy the rest of your day. Talk to you later.
Thanks, everyone.